Hello, everybody. Happy Halloween. Welcome to our October Training Tuesday event for OU Campus. Today's topic is CSS in OU Campus. We'll be going over some of the basics of CSS, how it works in OU Campus specifically, and some items for customization you can do, such as editing styles. During the presentation, all participants will be in a listen-only mode as the session is being recorded. If you have a question during the presentation, you may submit it by clicking on the Q&A tab located on the right-hand side of your screen. Once again, make sure it's the Q&A tab, not chat, so we have your email address in case your question warrants a follow-up reply. Simply type your question into the dialog box at the bottom of the Q&A section and send. We will attempt to address your questions during the presentation. After the formal presentation has ended, we will review and answer all remaining questions. Your presenter today is Akifumi Yamamoto, Web Developer at OmniUpdate. Aki, I'll hand it over to you.
Great, thank you, Erica. As she introduced, today's Training Tuesday. Oh, by the way, if you cannot hear me, let me know. CSS in OU Campus, so let's get started. Here's the agenda of what we will cover today, basic CSS syntax and grammar. Just in case any of you don't know CSS, basically we'll be able to cover all bases from people who have not touched CSS, seen CSS, or anything, to people who have dealt with a little bit of CSS. And we'll go over a little bit of what CSS framework do, such as the most famous one being Bootstrap, and applying certain classes from Bootstrap into elements in OU Campus via the WYSIWYG editor. And at the end, we'll go over some custom styling to tweak existing design. So in our example, we'll be using Bootstrap, and we'll be tweaking some Bootstrap styles. And here's what we won't be covering today. Complex CSS things like animation, some complex CSS selectors, some advanced CSS tricks, and designing sites from scratch, which includes CSS preprocessors as well. All right, so let's get started.
Before Aki, there is a couple of people saying to speak up a little bit, so I think your audio is a bit quiet.
Okay. All right. Hello. Is this better? Let me see if I can.
Yes, this is better. Closer. And okay. I will say, if you are having audio issues, it is working on our end, so the best fix for you is to try reconnecting, either redial or reconnect. If you're on your phone and you're having issues, connect via computer or vice versa. Great. Sorry for the interruption. Continue.
Yeah. How do I access? Am I able to access these questions, or?
Can you see? You can see the Q&A in your.
Let's see.
Yeah. I'll be handling all Q&A. Yeah.
Cool. I got it. I will have it over here in this other window. Okay. So, how are the people who addressed audio issues doing?
Okay, it looks like we're doing better, so.
Okay. All right, the mic is closer to my mouth now. So if you hear me breathing a lot, I'm sorry. So yeah, here's our basic CSS syntax. Basically, CSS is, when we write CSS and style elements, we write rules for how to style each element. And a rule must follow a certain syntax. So for this example shows how to style a paragraph tag, a P tag. And the selector you see here, let's see if I can get the laser pointer. Ooh, can everybody see the laser pointer? All right, I hope you can. I don't know. I've never played with this, so. Okay, great. So this is the P tag right here, a paragraph element. I think it's the most basic element we see in the WYSIWYG editor when we're writing content, paragraph is the default element that we use. So this selects the paragraph tag and says, okay, apply the following rule, whatever is inside these curly braces here, to our paragraph tag. And in this case, we have what kind of property do we want to change on the p tag, the color, and what do we want to set it to, red. So what's nice about modern day HTML and CSS is it understands actually quite a large number of human colors, I guess, natural colors, as well as hex values of colors. In this case, it's just simple red. So this rule here will set the color of your text to red. Not the best styling, but it does get the point across. And here's the basic rules on the right, curly braces, very important here. And then each property has a property name on the left, followed by a colon, and then value, and then a semicolon. So that is one rule block there. All right. So we just went over the element selector in there, highlighting the p tag. There's other tags like h1, which would be the first level heading, body, that encompasses the entire body of your HTML content. Div is a hard one to specify, but it's basically any HTML block that you're not sure what to categorize as. And you just say, okay, well, it's not a paragraph, but I do want to separate out this block of element from the other block of element. So I'm going to use a div HTML tag. And in Bootstrap, you will see the div tag being used a lot for rows and grids, as well as other framework. So the div tag in HTML, modern day HTML, is very common. And then the image tag will be for image. In addition to the element selectors, we also have ID selectors, which is signified by this pound or the hashtag, whatever you guys want to call it, key here. So these two examples will apply a rule on the ID header and footer. And then class. So classes are signified by this period in front of the name. So period breadcrumb means apply this rule to the breadcrumb or any element with a breadcrumb class. And these are a little bit more complex, but we're going to go over these today. Hopefully we have time. So some examples here, attribute-based selectors. And the attribute is signified by these brackets. And this says select any A tag with an href attribute. Or for the second example, it's an OL tag, which stands for ordered list, like a numbered list, 1, 2, 3. And then it has a colon not. This is a little bit complex, but what it basically says is it negates whatever is inside the parentheses, in this case, class. So in this previous example, it was select all A tag with href attribute. So if you negate this one, it's select all ordered list tag that do not have classes. So it's a little complex there. And then in addition to these selectors that apply on elements, we have pseudo class and pseudo element selectors. And these play a pretty big role in modern day HTML. And you would, for this one, for the pseudo class, what each element can have different states depending on what the browser is doing to the element. And for this one, it'll be, or the user, I suppose. For this one, it'll be an image tag. It selects on the image tag that has the that is currently being hovered over by the cursor. And the second one will select any element with the button class that has focus. So if you click it, it'll have focus. Or if you press tab into it in a browser using tab navigation, and you get to that element, it'll have focus as well. And for the pseudo element selector, this one creates an element in front of whichever element is being selected. So if for this example, it selects a breadcrumb item element, and it'll apply a styling to whatever is in front of that element. And we'll go over that a little bit more in detail later. And I'd also want to talk about media queries, since these days responsive web design is very important, and this is incredibly important for styling or designing websites to be responsive. And this will say, or in this example, it says apply the following styles. And for screen, you can also choose other things like print. You can create a print-only style. For this one, it'll say media screen, so it applies the styling to all displays such as TV, monitors, phone, tablets, and only apply it when the width is 480 pixels or less. So that's what this says here. Maximum width is 480 pixels. Okay, so these are some examples of syntax. Anybody have questions so far? Going once? Okay, we'll move on. And if you do have questions, I think we'll go over them in the examples later. So
there will also be time for a Q&A session at the end. So if you can't think of a question now and have one later, that's totally fine.
Right, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to show a quick example of what a web page could look like without CSS. Let's see if I can bring this up over here. Here we go. Okay, so I created this example page, plain, no CSS. The browser actually creates some default styling. So when you do open web pages that fail to load styling, you're not shown just text like you're looking at in a text editor like Notepad. And instead, you'll actually be able to distinguish what links are here and what headings are. So you can see different levels of headings by default, and this is with no styling. And if you are familiar with the developer tools in Chrome, this is Chrome, by the way, and most browsers actually have developer tools. We'll click on the inspect, and let's see, let's put it into the page, onto the to the other side. Here we go. And you're able to see, you're able to select which elements are being applied, which kind of style here. So for example, I have, let's see, paragraph tag. And it says user agent style sheet. And the user agent is basically talking about the Chrome browser. And if we go over into the sources tab, we're going to be looking at this later. So let's just go over this real quick. It shows you what resources are being loaded into the page. Right now, our plain.html page right here. And then 2 images. So 2 images are being loaded. And that's it. There's no CSS. There's no JavaScript. Very, very small profile page, but it doesn't look pretty. So that's
Aki, we have a request if you could zoom in a little so the code is
oh
easier
yeah.
to read.
Are you the stuff on the right? Let's see if I can do that.
Yeah.
Here we go. Does that look better?
That's better.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, we'll be looking at code later, so it's a good point. So yeah, let me go over that real quick again then. So we have the HTML document structure here. Here we go. That shows what all the elements you have are and what tree structure, because that's how HTML pages are created. And then you have the styles that each element has. So p tag has these styles, and it is coming from the Chrome browser. H3, likewise, same thing. And in the sources tab, we're able to look at the resources that are being loaded onto the page. And currently, we just have 2 images in the web page itself, with no additional styling or JavaScript being loaded. Okay. So when we want to style that, there's 2 options: start from scratch or use a CSS framework, or obviously, I guess there's 3. Ask a designer. Okay, so that's ask a designer is basically option 1. You just don't do it yourself. And today we're just gonna quickly use a Bootstrap framework to quickly get the page styled, and then add some tweaks of our own to make it look a little better subjectively. And then if you have any questions, we'll do that. And these are some other examples of frameworks. Foundation is another popular one that people like, that are fully featured, like Bootstrap. And then if you're more advanced and you know what you're doing with CSS, there are other frameworks that kind of just give you a bare bone, like a grid layout or the bare necessities, and kind of maintain a lower profile web page. Okay, so let's take a look at a web page that is styled in Bootstrap. So I already made this so we could cut down on some time. And this is basically this page, but with the Bootstrap loaded. Let me see if it actually is the exact same thing. Okay, it's a little different. All right, cool. So quick question, should I go over Bootstrap or should we just get to the coding? Let's get a quick vote, maybe. Some responses from the audience. Okay, sounds good. All right, let's go over Bootstrap then. So Bootstrap, shown in this, let's see. Recently, they released 4.0 Alpha 2, I believe. Let's see if I can click on that link. Oh, I think I have to exit pointer mode. Here we go. Oops. And you're able to get the source code or the styling. Oh, did they release? Okay, yeah, sorry, beta 2, not alpha. Beta 2 is recent, and I believe we're using beta 2. So we'll just go to their homepage, get started, and take a look at what they're doing here. Quick start says you're going to need these 2 things, their main style, and their, let me zoom in actually. So you're going to need these main styles, the style sheet, bootstrap.min.css, and some JavaScript library. And we'll go over what to do in OU Campus as well, since this is a OU Campus training. Has anybody, or are a lot of people listening in comfortable with XSL? Or maybe possibly just editing the head code and the foot code includes? Okay. What happened? Am I still? Okay, I think I'm still sharing my screen. All right. So most standard implementations that are done by Omni Update these days have this underscore resources file at the root, which has this includes folder. And in here, you have a few source code files, include files, that get included onto the page. And if we look at this file here, starter template on Bootstrap page, it shows us a very small HTML page. You can tell that it's HTML by the doc type that is declared at the top, and then the HTML tag right there at the top, language equals English, the head tag, and the body tag. And since this is not a HTML training, I'm going to just briefly go over it. In the head code, we add Bootstrap CSS. So styling usually goes into the head code area right here, the head region. And anything in the head region isn't shown on the web page itself. So all this stuff we see right now on the Bootstrap page, everything that we see is inside the body. And in the body, the JavaScript code also goes in. And according to Bootstrap, we need, and it should go in at the bottom. So we have the content here, and then Bootstrap required JavaScript libraries at the bottom. And collectively, we call these foot codes because it's code that go at the foot of the page. And this part, the head code, since it's code that goes at the head of the page. In addition to that, we also have other things like footer and header. That header is the header file we see on the page. So if we go back to this one here, CSS demo, training Tuesday header that we see on the page. And this goes into, this is more similar to, let's see, this one here, hello world H1, right? So that's kind of the header of this example. And then you have some content. And for Bootstrap, in order to implement the Bootstrap framework, we want to include this into the head code and this into the foot code. And you also have the option to download these files in case you're wondering. So let's do that. So head code, this is where we need to add the styles. Oh, red. Perfect. I actually have it downloaded, so I'm going to go find it. It's in underscore resources. CSS. I uploaded everything into Bootstrap. And we're going to get the minified version. So we have a lower profile web page. So the web page loads faster. And if we preview, I believe if we look at the frame of the source, we can see that our Bootstrap resource file is being included here. For those of you, since I just actually, that was not a very good demo of mine. Let me go over that real quick again. Let's just copy this real quick. Copy to clipboard, since I think most of you will be doing this instead of what I did here. And when you do copy this, you get the whole HTML tag for linking the resource style sheet file into the page here. which starts with a link, rel equals Stylesheet, the href equals this long web page that contains this resource, and then other important security tokens that says, hey, can I have this resource file? I'm not trying to hack your website. And the Bootstrap says, okay, here you go. So if you don't want to download, that's the way. But if you do want to download, basically you can copy and paste that code. Cross origin not needed, integrity not needed anymore, and the href will be our local file, which gives us this format here. So I'm going to delete this. Then you can see that it's basically the exact same thing here. Boom. Except for that self-closing part. So this is actually optional, self-closing tag. I don't want to go over it too much, but in XML and HTML, you have tags, and most tags have to close when you open. But certain tags don't need to do that, and link is one of them. But if you do want to follow good practices, you could do this. It's really optional. I'm used to coding XML, which requires every code tag to be closed. So I'm used to closing my stuff, and we'll just leave it like that. So this now has the Bootstrap include. Well, once we publish. So now we've included the head code into that. We want to include the JavaScript libraries into here. Another red tag. And we're going to grab all three of these here. 1, 2, 3. Copy to clipboard. How convenient that they have that. And I believe it's these 3 lines. So we'll just change that up. And, yep, that should be good. Same thing as before. We have the source here. Integrity, cross origin, telling the website that we're not trying to hack their website. We just want their JavaScript file. And I'm just going to leave it like this because I think we're a little running short on time. All right. So that's head code and foot code. And in order to get the proper grid layout here with the columns, Bootstrap shows you how to create your HTML markup to follow this markup here. So you will, if you are familiar with XSL, you'll want to do that. If you are not, you will not want to touch it. Possibly submit a pro services or something. But I think most of your websites will already have this general grid design that your designer provided, and a lot of you will just want to tweak it up a little bit. So let's skip to that step here. We have this design that somebody provided us, and then we want to tweak it up a little. And if you notice, this image, so we're going to go through image, tables, and buttons. So this one's not a button. This image, if you notice, is actually kind of overflowing to the right. So it's not aligned with the right edge. Same one with this one. So we want to change that up a little bit. So let's go into OU Campus. If I can find that tab. Oh, here we go. Demo.pcf. And we want to do some stuff here. Make sure everything looks right. Okay, so tweaking existing design image width overflow. Change this. And let's see if Bootstrap already has anything like that. Conveniently, I provided a link. And it says, images in Bootstrap are made responsive with this class. So how do we apply this class to our image here? Let's change that. How do we apply the class? Well, there's a place to apply a class here. That's good. We could do custom, copy and paste, image fluid, and that should do it. Great. So if we know what we're doing, we can do that. But how do we make it so our content editors don't have to go in and look at the Bootstrap file? And that, in order to do that, we actually have to go into the source. And we see, save that, a place for declaring what kind of file we want to use for this styles dropdown. Right here. It's kind of hard to see. But once you start looking at code more, you will get used to, you'll know what to look for, and you'll be able to find things more quickly. But for the time being, since we're short on time, we'll just quickly go over this one. OUC div tag says, okay, this is where your WYSIWYG content region is. And then OUC editor tag here tells us, look, if you want to have some custom classes, add it here. So it says _resources OU editor demo.txt, and we're going to go take a look at that file. Go to pages, open a new tab. Hopefully I don't run out of tabs. _resources OU editor demo.txt. And these are just example styles that are basically useless to us, so we're going to delete it. Or actually, let's keep it there so we can reference it. And we're going to add our image responsive class here, following the same syntax that it's following here. And these are hard to see, but it's actually, these are tabs that are separating the two right here as well. More information on this is available at the support site that we have. Very well documented, thanks to our support team. Image fluid, press tab, create a tab, and we'll say responsive images, image class. And then we want to apply it to an image only, so we say block here. And again, I think, well, we might have some time. Let's take a look at it. See if that comes up. Styles dropdown. All right. Customize the styles dropdown page. So yes, this page goes into a lot of detail about what to do here. So I'm not going to go into it. Just look up styles dropdown and then you find it, or if you want to find it, site development /tools /styles dropdown.html. Right. So there's two ways to apply styles, and that is to apply a style inline, like this one here, span style, or apply it on a block level, such as apply to an image, or apply to a paragraph, apply to a link. And in this case, we want to apply it to an image. So we specify a block, and this part right here is a tab. demo.txt, we save, we go back here, and inline or block. So for this one, it actually defaults to inline. Maybe if you press inline, it might be explicitly stated to inline. But if you want to do block, specify block. If you want to do inline, I've just left it blank. Since in this case we want it only to be applied on blocks, we'll leave it at block. And yes, if you do want to specify it to be on block, you do, I believe you need to have it say block. We don't want to go here. Here we go. This is where we want to go. And I made 2 image examples, so we'll save and exit this region. Woo. We have another image here. Choose this, resources, images, sample 1, and whoa, hold on. That is showing my other. Let's see if I can. All right. Let's hope I didn't break anything. All right, here we go. So we want to apply a class we just added, which is responsive image, right? So, and there's actually, I know I very quickly went over this, but there's actually multiple ways to apply classes to elements. One is through this one, but when you go through this one, you're not able to apply the image to or apply the class to the image tag. So if I click this out, it says p.imageFoot. You can see the kind of class that gets applied to which element, and it got applied to our paragraph tag, which is not what we want. So let's remove that. Select, unselect, and boom. We want to apply it to our image tag, right? So even if you have the image selected and do the same thing, I believe it still goes to the paragraph tag. So the only way to apply classes to the image, this is the only tricky part maybe, is to go through this insert/edit image interface, and it gives you the option of selecting a class. Custom or these useless ones, or the one we just added. We obviously want the one we added, responsive image. And then we do this. And now the entire editable region shrank. Why? Well, it's actually because this was supposed to be one of the columns of a 3-column row. And the image, because it spanned the entire width of the page, made the column the entire width of the column. Now it's appropriately styled. Looks like this.
We have a question from Raid Shahada saying, do we need to add at the end inline or block?
Yes, I saw that earlier. I think I addressed it. Let me know if I addressed it. Thank you, though. It's all good.
Wanted to make sure it was answered.
Yeah, for sure. Right, did you get my answer earlier? All right, let me know yes or no later, or whenever you. Yes, great. All right, so that is how you add to the styles dropdown here. Right, so it's a little tricky. You have to go into source. You have to know which CSS menu. And this is also all documented on the support site. I think if you file a ticket to support, I don't know if the support people will appreciate me saying, hey, file a ticket to support. But if you file a ticket to support, I'm sure they'll be happy to help you with some custom things. And here, they might just link you to the page, in fact. But this will, our support page basically has an entire place about site development that goes into some very good details. And the CSS menu is what we want to look at. In this case, it is specified demo.txt, and we edited this file. I actually have a fully completed one right here, styles.txt. So I'm going to switch it over to that one. Let's do am I in two sources at the same time? Yeah, that's not a good idea. Be careful when you guys do that. You don't want to be editing the same file in two tabs. Demo.txt, styles.txt, or just do replace all. Hold on, I'm going to put a slash in front of it so we don't accidentally replace anything. Yeah, looks good. Replace all. 4 replacements were made. Looks good. And we're going to go into our edit view again and start editing things. And so let's make this a button, right? And Bootstrap gives you these very wide selection of buttons here. Primary, secondary, success, blah, blah, blah. But each button, if you notice, requires 2 classes. So if you just have button, I believe it doesn't really do much. It might just look like that. So I'll quickly go over that. To add multiple classes, it's very simple. You just separate it out with a space here. And it's the same as when you're adding multiple classes in the HTML. The only difference is that you're specifying that you're adding classes by the period. And the rest is with space, more class, another class, just like that. So now that'll add button primary, more class, and another class. But we don't want those classes. So there you go, back. And earlier I mentioned that we could only apply a style or class to an image on the paragraph through this. And it's the same thing applies for links. If I do it here, it doesn't look quite right because, well, the button primary, you got to apply it to the paragraph, and that's not what we want. So how do we do that? Well, insert edit link interface is what we want. When you're inserting, you'll see it, URL, text to display, anchors, and then you have class. Just like with the image interface, when you're inserting links, you're able to apply a custom class or a selection out of a selection. And we're going to apply the button primary class. So we have the button class. Perfect. So that's one of, well, I've went over 3 ways, right, to apply styles. This way, by the link, and by the image. And in, do we need to add Bootstrap.css and WYSIWYG? That's a good question. I believe you do not, because in JustEdit, if you're using JustEdit, the style of the web page, the page that you're editing, gets included in the WYSIWYG style. So if you look at our WYSIWYG.css, it might be empty. Oh, it's got some OU custom styling for snippets. But other than that, it doesn't have anything. And the styling that you see here is actually being included from the page that you're editing. So if the page that you're editing is including Bootstrap.css, you won't need to do anything with WYSIWYG.css. Right. So I went over 3 ways, link, image, and the styles drop down. And there's one more way to add classes. And that's the table interface. And this is a little bit unintuitive, so I do want to show you. You can insert tables via this button here. And you can access the table properties same way from here, or the right-click menu, table properties. Let's do it for the button. And it has another class drop-down right here. So earlier, I added the Bootstrap table, one of the Bootstrap table styles. There's multiple, like the other ones. And you can see them all here. They show table dark, table and t-head modification, a lot of different styles. I just selected one of them, which is table hover. And we're going to apply that style. There's actually a lot of other customization you can do in the table that isn't quite obvious. Bootstrap table. So let's apply that, and we'll save. So now our table looks a little different. It's got a little bit of border top and bottom, and hovering. Okay, so that is using the WYSIWYG editor to add classes to existing elements. Any questions? Okay. And I did want to go over all these things, but I don't know if we have time. Erica? How are we doing on time?
Yeah, I think it's about probably a good time now to start wrapping up, or maybe taking some audience questions.
Yeah. So we could do some quick questions. If you want to know about any of these, send an email to you, Erica, maybe, and then you can forward them to me.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
If you send an email to, I think, well, I mean, if you want to put your email address directly in the chat,
Okay.
then
any
of you can send to Aki directly. And I will say, with the upcoming conference with OUTC 18, we are looking at possibly having a class for administrators about learning the basics of HTML and CSS. Workshop schedule isn't finalized, but that is in consideration. So if you're interested in learning more, when we do have our finalized schedule for OUTC 18, definitely check the workshop schedule and see if that's up, because it will be a longer session than this, and we'll be able to go into more detail about these sort of things.
All right, thank you. And if you guys want these files, I could give you the completed version of what I wanted to do, styles.css here.
Yes, all these files will be hosted on the support site, along with links to the PowerPoint slides and to the recording of this video, so that will all be available later today for you to download.
Great. Perfect. All right, so with that out of the way, let's get through some questions.
Let's see.
If you guys have any.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions come in.
If not, I'll just keep going.
Maybe, well, we do want to wrap up by 12, but yeah, if there's another quick thing to cover.
Styles, can you send me a link? Yes, we'll definitely provide you with the link. I'm going to do one more style applying because I made it and I didn't show you guys. Oh, I'm editing this in 2 places again. Okay, go back. Since we're not getting any questions, we only showed, I believe, styling at the block level, not styling at the inline level. And I did provide one class that was inline here, badge light. So badge style text. That's the something Bootstrap has badge right here. Looks like this, and it wraps whatever you select basically in a span, right? So that's what the inline styling does. And in the demo, I applied the class to this button one. And earlier we styled the button on using our button link interface. But sometimes you might want to do a little bit more styling. Maybe you want to style the text. No, adding styles.txt will not change the look of your current page, but it will give content editors the option to select files from here, basically. So right now, if it's empty, I can show you an empty version. I'll just save this. Demo. When it's empty, the style says no style is defined, right? So even if we wanted to apply the button primary class, we go into button thingy, and then we come here, nothing. Right? So if you do want to give the option, the freedom for content editors to maybe apply button classes or image classes, you can do that by creating these pre-configured classes in a list. And you obviously need to train them on how to use that. And then I wanted to go over the inline. So I have this badge style text inline. I select, I think it's hard to see with the color contrast, but I'm going to select this one here and then apply the badge style like that. So you can apply, if you look at it here at the bottom breadcrumb, it says P a.button.button primary, and then inside that I have span.badge light. So inside the button, I added even additional. Is there a way to limit the styles menu based on permissions? It's a good question. I want to say no. I don't think there's a way.
You could, Andy, the question being, is there a way to limit the styles menu based on permissions? There is no way directly. You could restrict access to the directory. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not talking about editing it. Are you talking about editing the styles menu, or are you talking about using it specifically in the WYSIWYG editor? Because if you're talking about editing the styles menu, then you could restrict access to the file itself or to the directory it's in. If you're talking about using it in the WYSIWYG editor, you could create a custom toolbar from setup toolbars in which that does not have that styles dropdown, and then assign it to either the user or to the pages or directory that you don't want that to be applied.
Right, so you could actually disable this styles dropdown altogether for certain levels, right? User levels.
Yeah, you can do it by user level. You can create a custom toolbar and assign it to a specific user or group, or you can restrict that toolbar use to a certain directory. So for more information, I would look at the support site, and I would look at the setup section and toolbar under that. Yeah.
Right here, setup toolbar. Okay. And another thing you could do is right now I made all the CSS menu the same, but you could differentiate what file to use based on the region, right? So maybe for my main content region, I want to give them a lot of styles, but for my smaller content region, I want to give them a more restricted set of classes they can use, like a demo.txt, for example. So in here, in the main content region, I have all my styles. I come out. I go into the first row. I believe it was this one, and it's not this one. Let's see if it's if I changed that right. All right, maybe I didn't change it right. Okay, let's go back into source. Oh yeah, that's the one that I'm not using. Great job. All right, so it's this one, demo.text, row 1, column 1. So here, and I'm back to the demo text right here. So just to show you the other region as well. This one should still be our fully styled styles.text. So you're able to do things like that, a region editable region-based styles.text. It will definitely complicate your design more and complicate management, but there's that. Another thing you could do is, I know we didn't have time to go over that because I wanted to do this WYSIWYG editor over customizing. The styles.css has some, or this one at least. I applied this, if everyone can see that. Max width 100% height auto styling on all images, not just images that say image.responsive. So if I apply this class, I apply this style, I think my index file is the complete one. You can see that there's no class set, but it's not overflowing on the right. So if you apply it at the element level for certain things, obviously you can't do it for everything. Like this one as well, same thing. Class not set. Then we select an image. And because our default styling here says, look, you can only span as wide as the region you're in, which is our column, the image will not expand to the right. And that will take out the whole using the styles drop down altogether. But you can't do that for everything. All right. Anything else?
All right, well, unless there's any other questions, I'm going to wrap this up for today. And just remember that this has been recorded, and this will all be hosted on our support site. Alki, if you want to go to the PowerPoint slides again.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right.
Wait.
Oh
No. Let me go back.
All right. Well, while he figures that out, like I said, this is all going to be hosted on our support site. So check out support.omniupdate.com, and then it will also be posted on the OCN. And because we have the holidays coming up, our Training Tuesday schedule is going to be a little bit different. We're planning to have our next one not on the last Tuesday of November, but on November 14th. It'll be about table transformations. And when you fill out the survey at the end of this WebEx, you will get an option asking you if there's a date you prefer. So for the upcoming holiday schedule for Training Tuesdays, so if you have a strong preference, make sure you fill that out. But yes, next month's Training Tuesday, not the last Tuesday of November, but instead November 14th, and we will be sending out invites for that pretty soon. So keep an eye out for that. And I believe that's everything for today. Remember, resources will be up on the support site and the OCN. Thank you, everybody, for attending, and I hope you all have an awesome Halloween.
All right. Thank you. Ray, just if we have a little bit of time, Ray just asked about why is the style different. I'm just going to give you guys my email. Here's my email. I think everybody can see it. A Yamamoto. Wait, can I send? I can't send.
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, thanks. Apparently I can't send it.
All right, so. Oh.
Cool.
Okay.
Did you get? Did
so we have, yeah, and I'm just going to. Oh, let me just look at the chat. Yeah, we have for everyone who chatted me about the code, again, that's going to be posted online with the other resources. If you want it to be emailed to you directly, put in a Q&A question because that way we get your email. Chat does not record these. So, all right. And unless there's any last-minute questions, I'm going to end this WebEx.
Oh, Erica, could you?
Yep.
I think there's a typo in my email.
Oh, there's. Sorry.
Yeah. So just making sure everybody gets the right one.
Yes. Oh, is it a Yamamoto?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that.
All good.
All right. That's the correct email, the second one.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes, everything, all the code I believe will be up on the OCN, right?
Yeah, the code will be both on the OCN and on the support site.
Great. So look for that there.
Yeah. All right. And with that, thank you everybody for attending. Happy Halloween and have a great rest of your day.